Hi, this is William on India's weekly market overview for the week ending June 10th. I am Rushit Sejpal, equity analyst at William O'Neill India. The week started on a weaker note on Monday, but the good part was that the closing was very good on the Monday. So Nifty moved higher from the day's low and managed to close almost flat like the last Friday's closing level. On the Tuesday as well as the Wednesday, the market went lower. I think it was a bit volatile more on the Wednesday due to RBI's MPC outcome. But the good part for the week was the Thursday. So Nifty found support near its 21 DMA, the green line over here, and you can see it staged a upward reversal from there. And it was a very strong action yesterday. But one thing that should be noted for yesterday's session was the volume. Volume was very low, if you can see over here. So already since last 7 to 8 session, the volume has been below average. The red line is this over here is the 50-day average volume और volume वहां से low है पिछले 7-8 दिनों से. But on Thursday it was more lower than that. But the price action was very good yesterday. But what happened, like the European as well as the US market closed lower yesterday, and yes, Nifty also followed the cues, and the opening was the gap down opening. And I think this is what the investors' reaction in the Indian market would that yeah, what's happening? Because yesterday was a very good session from the price action point of view. दो जिन लोगों ने वॉल्यूम देखा होगा उनके माइंड में थोड़ा वो होगा कि हाँ यार ये इतने लो वॉल्यूम पे is not a good thing. But yes, those who are just looking at price, they might be very surprised that after such a strong rebound from 21 DMA and excellent action on Thursday, what happened today. But yes, today the gap down was mainly due to the global cues, and Nifty breached its 21 DMA, and I think that's after the first time जो भी यहाँ से लास्ट मंडे पे जो ये गैप अप ओपनिंग हुआ था उस वहां पे रिक्लेम हुआ था, एंड आफ्टर दैट फर्स्ट टाइम निफ्टी ब्रीच इट्स 21 डीएमए. बट वन थिंग यू शुड नोट टुडे आल्सो दैट आज का वॉल्यूम वाज द लोएस्ट ऑलमोस्ट फेब्रुआरी आई थिंक 18th को एक 2022 पूरे ईयर का लो वॉल्यूम था, एंड टुडेज वॉल्यूम वाज वेरी सिमिलर टू दैट. सो यू कैन कंसीडर कि हाँ 2022 ईयर का वन ऑफ द लोएस्ट वॉल्यूम आज था. So this should also be marked. अभी यहाँ पे volume candle है नहीं, but yes, it is lower than yesterday also and almost lowest for the year 2022. So that gives some relief that okay, though there was some 1.6 to 1.7% decline in the Nifty, but the volume was ultra low. So that should be noted. Now, next week on the higher side, you want 21 DMA to be quickly retaken and move higher from there. On the downside, we can see the 16,000 level has given some good support last time, and we can expect that on the downside. And after that, the correction low, which is around 15,735, here also 3 to 4 times Nifty has got a support. So you want on the downside these two levels giving a support, and the best case that you want is like if Nifty reclaims the 21 DMA on a higher volume and stages a upside reversal from there. But a lot of events are there before that. So on the this week, if you can see, I think most of the indexes closed lower. The Nifty, Sensex, small cap, mid cap, बैंक निफ्टी में 2.3% का फॉल. IT and financial service again turned out to be the losers. FMCG and metals were also losing. The auto was holding and the pharma was flat. So only two sectors that were holding during this week. Okay. So RBI came up with its MPC outcome this week on Wednesday. The rate hike was of 50 bips, and after the 40 bips last month in a surprise meeting they gave, the inflation outlook was increased to 6.7% for the current year. But the good comments were given by the RBI governor, especially demand front पे कि urban demand is picking up, rural demand is also on the verge of picking up. अच्छा मॉनसून रहेगा, और अगर क्रूड अराउंड 105 per barrel, that is what the RBI is calculating for the year, then 6.7 ka inflation is there. And one more thing that market liked is that RBI governor told that जो इस बार का 50 बिप्स का rate hike है is not calculated in estimating the 6.7% inflation. So these were some of the positive comments by the RBI governor. Also, the growth forecast was not lowered, so it remained the same. And overall, though there was a 50 bips rate hike, but I think market was ready for that, and that's why there was no major reaction or there was no knee-jerk reaction after a 50 bips of rate hike. But overall, the comments were good. Now, not only the RBI, the Eurozone, the US, everyone is concerned with this inflation, and I think the problem is more over there in the West. So yesterday, ECB announced that it will raise the interest rate by 25 bips in July and another in the September month. Also, it lowered the growth forecast to 2.8% for the Eurozone from 3.7% that they predicted in March. So Eurozone में growth forecast भी lower हुआ है, but the good part you can see in India अभी growth forecast lower नहीं हुआ because we are positive on the consumption, the rain, and the upcoming festive season. Also, the government spending, the infra spending, all is on track. And they also raised the inflation expectation for this year to 6.8%, which is higher than the 5.1%. So it is much higher, 1.7% higher than the last meeting. If you look at the index in the Eurozone, I think most of them, half of them are in a confirm uptrend, and the others are in a uptrend under pressure or rally attempt. But the problem over here is the distribution day count. If you look at, there are 2 to 3 distribution day count यहाँ पे आ गए हैं, and the older ones have given those who have not turned into the rally 4 to 6 distribution days. So the distribution day count is higher, and this is quite negative that the such a high inflation as well as the lowering of the growth forecast. Now after the India, Europe, in the next week we should be ready with the Fed decision. So yes, I think on 15th Fed is coming up with their decision, and the rate hike over there is also expected around 50 bips, and the quantitative easing they are already starting, and a rate hike of 50 bips is expected. So market will react to these decisions. So not only the US, but I think the ECB, the Bank of Japan, everyone is coming up with their policy rate decisions in the next week. So also the US inflation data is coming today in the evening. So there will be a good watch over those data and how the US market reacts today. So that will give a good indication for the Nifty to open on the on the Monday. So if you guys want to understand what happened today in the inflation data of the US and how the market might react on the Monday, join us on Pre-Bell with William O'Neill India at 8:45 on Monday on the YouTube, as well as you can join on the Zoom link as well. Thank you for joining in the session.